Hi everyone, Azriel Knight here, and today I'm going to be shooting on an infrared DSLR. This is a Pentax K10D that's been converted to infrared. If you don't know what shooting infrared is like, essentially it's a spectrum of light that your eye can't see. To be honest, I don't know too much about infrared photography. I do know that the idea is that you take your DSLR, ship it off to a special company, and they will remove the infrared filter off of the sensor and probably make a couple other adjustments so it can see in the infrared spectrum. How does one shoot, or how does one follow light that they cannot see? With film infrared, it's incredibly fussy. The film is super sensitive to light, and the focus and exposure on your lens is different. Luckily with the digital version, you can check your work right away and make any adjustments that you need. I got this as a gift about 4 or 5 years ago. To be honest, I've probably only put about 200 frames through, but today I'm finally gonna give it a real solid first impression. On it right now is a Pentax M 28mm f2.8. Yes. This is a 1.5 crop factor, so we're looking at about 42 millimeters. In addition to the 28mm lens, I'm also going to have a 50mm 1.4, or a 75mm equivalent. I'm going to be taking my gear down to the Englewood Bird Sanctuary. Essentially, it's just a fenced-off wildlife reserve in the middle of town, and being midday in a mid-Canadian winter, I don't expect it to be that busy. I'm also mostly going for the scenery, but I haven't excluded the idea that I may encounter some wildlife. So now I just got to get my gear ready and head on out. Okay, I'm here at the Englewood Bird Sanctuary, and it's actually snowing more than I thought it would, but I think that's going to give a neat effect. I don't think it's cold enough or snowing enough to affect a DSLR, but who knows, I might end up eating my words. It's only just below zero, about -3 Celsius, so I'm not too concerned, but if I'm out for a while and the camera feels cold after, I'll climatize it before I take the card out. It's kind of interesting because infrared tends to make grass and plant life look white, but since it's winter, it's white anyway. I think I'm getting a few good shots here, but I've just stepped in. I'm only about 5 minutes into the sanctuary right now. There's some historical significance to this house here, but I can't seem to recall what it is. Oh, Jesus. Well, the sun's come out now, and it's really changed the dynamic of the way the light looks on the camera. Ooh, one thing, though, is that not all of the pathways are clear. Some of them are sheer ice like this one. having a lot of fun with that 28mm, but I've switched to the 50 now for the time being. On the one hand, this is quite relaxing. On the other hand, all I can hear is the constant drone of traffic, not too far away. Sort of reached the halfway mark of my journey here. I'm making a circle around the sanctuary. And now I think I'm going to switch to my 200mm. I don't really see any issues switching my lenses as long as I do it quickly. But I guess I won't know until the day's over. I'm finding with the 200mm lens that the focus is a bit off. That's probably due to the fact that infrared light doesn't reflect in the same way as regular light, or maybe the lens is just messed up, who knows. Maybe it's fine. The LCD screen is small, the camera is old. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the deal is, but I'm not confident in the focus ability of the 200mm lens. I've pretty much made it back to the start though. So I'm gonna head back to the car, head home, and see how these turned out. Okay, I'm back home now. Actually, it's the next day, but I've had a chance to review the photos. I also think I know why the 200mm lens was out of focus. Actually, I think they were all kind of out of focus. Not that it was an issue for most of the day. The reason being that I had wider angle lenses and I was working with smaller apertures. That is like anywhere between 8 and 16, but mostly I shot around f11. So that saved me. So even though my camera was telling me that the shot was in focus, it wasn't actually in focus. So just a little background here, I was using manual lenses. However, when you look through the viewfinder and you do have something in focus, a red light will go off. What I'm thinking now though is that I shouldn't have trusted it. These old lenses have infrared indicators. You'll notice that there's a little mark in orange right here. So if I look through the viewfinder and this is what my focus ends up being, then I'm supposed to compensate it by moving it to about here. And I didn't do that. So even though I had that setback, I still ended up with some great shots, and here are the highlights. I'm sure some of you out there have way more experience with infrared photography than I do, and I'd love to hear your comments below. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay classic.